a very intentional day of content creation, y'all. We've literally been shooting since about 10:30, maybe 11, and now it's 6 o'clock. What time is it? Yeah, 5 o'clock. So we're going strong, but we're really pouring into this company, into the M4 show, into Play Black Wall Street, because we believe in it and we believe in the impact that it has. So yeah, we're excited to share with y'all an episode today on when you should take some time to just kind of detach from the business a little bit as far as the operations of it and really look at how the business is functioning. Right? Really look at, is the business doing what you said you wanted it to do? Are you doing what you said you wanted to do? And are there some intentional shifts that you can make in the future to create a better impact and outcomes for that company? Queen, is that okay with you? Can we dive into that today?
Yes.
Let's do it. All right, cool. Well, without further ado, let's get into the episode. Over 50% of Black Americans are unmarried, and only 2% of Black families in America have a net worth over $1 million.
We are on our journey to not only join that 2%, but grow that 2%.
Facts. I'm Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, with my beautiful co-host.
I'm Sinclair, aka the Health Nerd. You can go to our website at them4show.com, our Instagram at them4show, and our YouTube channel at Melanated Married Millionaires in the Making.
And welcome to the M4 Show. Welcome back, folks, to the Melanated Married Millionaires in the Making show. I'm your host, Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game. And of course, I have with me my smiling, my beautiful, my soldierific, synergistic queen herself. Please introduce yourself.
What is up, everybody? My name is Sinclair, aka the Health Nerd. Synergistic. It was a word.
It was the word of the day.
Yes, it was a word of the day that I used correctly and that we clarified by coming up with the definition or finding the definition. And man, that's a good word.
Oh yeah, it was along the lines of the sums are greater than the individual sums, right? The collective sums are greater than the individual sum, where my effort plus her effort equals 3 times effort instead of just 2 times. So it was real good, but she used it like without completely knowing what it meant, and then it worked out beautifully. But I want to kind of get right into it. First off, I was listening back to a couple of our podcasts, and there's gonna be some slight audio changes that I want to make. We have like 2 intros in the first 2-3 minutes, right? And I'm saying this out loud because I know Jai is also listening, and we can just save ourselves a meeting. There's like a short snippet of the podcast, and then it goes into an intro, and then it goes into our short snippet, and then it goes into another intro, and then it goes into the podcast, right? And we're gonna make some small tweaks, right? This is the mindset that we're in right now because we just came back from our business retreat. And there should only be one intro in that first 2 minutes. We want to make sure our folks are still staying retained in the YouTube video or in the podcast. So that's just an aside while I'm here. But that's the mode that we've been in, folks. We've been in, how do we take our business to the next level? How do we take the podcast to the next level? And we just came back from a week-long retreat, specifically zooming in on Play Black Wall Street. If y'all don't know, we started Play Black Wall Street back in 2017. It really started with Black Wall Street, the board game, and the whole goal or concept of it was, how do we help increase the literacy, the financial literacy of our community, but also how do we teach more people about the legacy of Tulsa Black Wall Street? And since starting the business, we've had a few maybe intentional times where we collect ourselves and we figure out what the strategy is. But really, for the past probably 2 years, Queen?
2 years, about it.
We've been running, grinding, and like just constantly kind of reacting to customers, reacting to opportunities coming in, but we haven't had time to really just take a break, reset, relax, and figure out what is the strategy moving forward. So in today's episode, we wanted to kind of break down some signs that you might need.
Business retreat.
You might need a business retreat, right? You might need some time to relax and focus in, maybe recharge on the business, maybe revamp the mission, look at the website, look at some emails. What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? So we're gonna just go over some signs that you might need to take a business retreat. All right. Queen.
Yes.
Get us into sign number one, or what was a sign for us, or what might be a sign for other folks with businesses.
So I feel like sign number one can be one side of a two-sided coin.
Mm-hmm.
You could either be that your business is growing, right? Maybe you have a lot of growth happening, you got a lot of opportunities coming up, and so you need some time to really stop and figure out how you're going to scale your business. The other side is maybe your business is not growing. Maybe it's been stagnant for some time, right? Or even declining. And you need to, again, stop and figure out, okay, what is going on? Where is the growth? And so I think either situation, you need to stop and figure out what's going on and kind of reevaluate.
Nice. So that's the position that we've been in both.
Yes.
Right. I think we were maybe 2 years ago in a situation where Black Wall Street, or Play Black Wall Street, was getting some good sales, right? Mm-hmm. Consistent sales, but we weren't really seeing the return that we wanted to be able to take this into a full-time venture.
Yep.
Right. Board games are cool, right? But those are like, $40 each, $30 each. We tag in the shipping, we tag in the discounts in there. We were only making like $15 to $20 per board game. And then, we get a lot of love from y'all, but not full-time business love. So we took the time to really figure out, all right, what's a pivot? What's a little bit of a business change that we can make to generate more income?
Mm-hmm.
So about 2 years ago, we started to shift, still showing business to customer love, but our main business model became business to business,
mm-hmm.
right? So how can we not just sell 1, 2, 3 board games to individual families, but how can we sell 30 board games, 100 board games, 200 board games to a group? Or how can we do workshops, speaking engagements, to just generate more money per customer? Because we believed in what we do. We still believe in what we do, but we wanted to make sure it was sustainable,
right,
long-term, right? So taking a look at, okay, am I making the funds that I want to make? If not, is there a business model shift? Is there a different primary customer that I might be able to focus on instead to generate more income?
And I think that business model shift, right? It may not be business to customer to business to business. That may not be the transition for everybody, but maybe you're offering a one-off service, and instead of a one-off service, you can turn it into a subscription, right? Different things that you can think about if you're able to remove yourself a little bit from that day-to-day process, which is why we're recommending, like, we're saying, like, a business retreat, because I think that the aspect of a retreat is you go away. Right, you go away from someplace. It doesn't have to be far. We were an hour away from where we lived. It was just the aspect of getting out of our, like, normal everyday offices where we do our work, away from the daily grind for a moment, to really think about things outside of the daily grind, the daily hustle, the daily firefighting. And so there's still work that needs to be done on a daily basis, but I think just removing yourself, getting into a new space, helps give you a clear mind a little bit.
For sure. Yeah. And so you said there's two sides to a coin. We talked about the one side, right, where you're not making enough money, or the money that you think your business should be outputting. What was the other side?
We talked about the growth. We talked about your business is growing. So the other side is that your business is not growing.
Gotcha. So what I was talking about just now was before, when the business wasn't growing. We were making okay funds, but we weren't making enough to sustain ourselves.
Gotcha.
So we switched up the model to create that growth.
Yeah.
Now
the other side.
Now we're on the other side, right? Which is a blessing. But what's the other side, Queen?
When your business is growing, and maybe it's growing fast. Maybe you got an opportunity where your business is going from, again, one business model to another, or, one set of customers to another. We've got a program that's going from a certain number of schools to a larger number of schools.
Yeah, shout out to Lit. We appreciate all y'all.
Yes. And so we have to make sure that we are set up for success there, because that's a scale, right? We're scaling our business. And so it doesn't, if you're going from, like, again, kind of a small number of customers to a larger number of customers, it's not always like relatable of just going from we're gonna do the same thing and just do it more. There's like different things now you have to put in place, right? Because we can't just do the same thing 20 different times with 20 different schools. We have to create an automate
Automate is definitely the right word.
Automate the process as much as we can. Come up with a very standard process so that it's plug and chug rather than us trying to react each time to every school.
Exactly. So your business might be in a position where you're making cookies, right? You're making cookies for a small set of customers. Maybe it's 10, maybe it's 20, but you're in a good situation where you can handle making 10 to 20 cookies per week by yourself. But out of nowhere, you get a contract that says they want 100 cookies. They want 100 cookies next week. Like the queen said, the model that you use to make 10 might not be the same model that can work to make 100. So now you need to figure out, okay, am I going to hire people? Am I going to write down the standard operating procedures for these cookies? Write down the recipe? You know our folks don't be writing down recipes.
They don't. They
just grandma don't be writing down nothing.
They let the God speak to them.
Just let the cookie God speak to them. Let the Play Black Wall Street folks speak to them. But when you're trying to scale that company, you really need to make sure you're writing down those SOPs so you can duplicate your skills, duplicate your geniuses. So now instead of just one chef in the kitchen, you have 10 people that are cooking 10 cookies. So now you can fulfill that contract, right? So any type of business is the same thing. You have the person that generates the value, whether it's health coaching and webinars, whether it's creating curriculums for high school students to build their business. There's a particular person that generates that value, generates that product. You need to figure out how can you duplicate that person or automate that person, automate that person so that they can fulfill more orders in a shorter amount of time. And that's where a retreat comes in. Right? You better take your time. Maybe now you can create that content. You can write that SOP. You can make those training videos. You can hire that staff. You can do what you need to do within that week to strategize. That way afterwards, boom, you can hit that ground running. Right? What's another sign, Queen? That folks. Oh, you ready? Oh, she's ready. Go ahead, hit it, Queen.
Another sign is that you are either overworking yourself. So you're just doing too much. You're doing too much of the business. You've got a lot going on. So you're overworked, or you just have low production where again, you're working, but the output is not there. Yeah. You're putting in a lot of work, a lot of input coming in, but a lot of output is not there. So there's something being lost in the middle.
I think this is me. Oh, you're just gonna laugh at me. But I think this is something that I struggle with, to where I'm doing a lot of things, but not all the things are pushing the mission. Right? I have a lot of different projects going, but they're not all being productive. And I think outside looking in, it's like, oh yeah, I've been up since 5:30. I've been doing this. I've been doing that. I've been doing this. But what do I really have to show for it at the end of the day? And I think the retreats are good for me to really sit down, write down, okay, what are the measurable goals for Play Black Wall Street? And if you're not moving towards these specific goals that you wrote down, Devon, then you're not using your time the most wisely. So it comes down to focus, right? And I think visionaries or people who have focus issues can get caught in the trap of just doing a whole bunch of stuff. But you have to really figure out, okay, what is my mission right now? What are the tangible goals I want to achieve within this time period? How do I make sure that all my energy, all my genius, all my focus is being directed in this direction?
Yeah. I feel like it's me as well.
Yeah. It's us.
It's us.
This is us.
This is us.
Aw. Come on.
The reason why I feel it's me is because, as a person who does a lot of the behind the scenes work, there's a lot of systematizing of things. And if you're not putting that work in to create the systems, then you're going to be reactive. And that's what I have found myself. I've been finding myself in that space in the last couple months of just reacting. Okay, we have this. Okay, now I need to do this. Okay, now I need to do this. Whereas if I was able to, again, create a system for these things, then I think it would be a lot less work. And I would have a standard operating procedure, not only not only to pass on to somebody else, but just for myself, and making sure that things are being done the same way. So yeah, I feel like, whether it's, every school we need to have the purchase order before we do the work, or we need to have this invoice sent by a certain day, and then I need to follow up with this person, with the person who created the purchase order a week after, just to make sure everything is going well and that we're getting our money on time, right? Those types of things.
She be Debo with that money, boy. Don't play with Sinclair's money.
Right. I could easily kind of automate that process where I have calendar invites. And that's what I've started to do now, is like for like taxes that I know are due at a certain date every year, every time of the year. I just added now a calendar invite. So I don't have to remind myself. I don't have to wait until I get the letter that says, hey, you have taxes due.
You owe $70 something.
Right. Now I have the calendar invite a week before it's due to say, hey, go make sure that you're, paying these taxes or whatever it is. Again, like if I know a program is starting this day, then I know when it's going to end, and I can proactively put in those reminders of, hey, it's time to create these invoices. Hey, it's time to follow up with these people to make sure that the goods receipts are in and all these things. So those are the types of checks and balances that I need to put in, so I'm not overworking as well.
Agreed. So during our retreat, Queen, we had the amazing opportunity to really dive deeper into why are you looking at me like that? I thought it was amazing.
Well, I'm just looking.
I thought we had an amazing opportunity to dive into our core ideology, which is very fun for me. I literally was energized at the end. I was feeling good after this day. And we got to really rethink and refocus our mission, our vision, our core purpose, our core values, some key characteristics, critical actions, like just really dope things in entrepreneurship world for our business. Like the stuff that gets me excited.
Entrepreneur nerd right here.
Nerd. But if I can, Queen, what like 2, maybe 3 things can I share from our new and developed core ideology?
You can do the mission and the core. Is it purpose?
Core purpose. This one.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the mission for Play Black Wall Street. New mission for Play Black Wall Street. And again, everyone, when you have your company, you should have your mission, your vision, your core values at minimum. And this is coming from a book called Built to Last by Jim Collins. And then our new mission is coming from the book on How to Grow Your Small Business by Donald Miller. If you just YouTube Donald Miller, there's a whole bunch of videos that come up. He gives a lot of like practical stuff in the YouTube videos. But if you want like some real tactical stuff, go ahead and grab that book. It's like $20, something like that. And it'll make you millions. Hopefully. I don't know. Disclaimer. I don't know. I'm hoping it's going to make us millions. All right. But our new mission statement is we will increase our financial literacy mentorship program to 50 sites, our Black Wall Street board game sales to 3,000 games, and our speaking engagements to 25 engagements annually by June 2025. Because our community deserves the education and empowerment needed to achieve financial freedom.
Applause.
What? Do you feel that? I feel energized just reading it. Let's go. Let's get back to work. I'm just kidding, Sinclair. We're done for the day. I promise you we're done for the day. But in Donald Miller's book, he talks about putting 3 specific economic goals in your mission. Right. And our mission before this was to uplift and teach the legacy of Tulsa Black Wall Street through fun and innovative experiences. Right. So still focused, but not as specific.
Yeah, it's really broad.
Very broad, not measurable. And it was hard for us to really like look and say, did we achieve this mission? Right. And it's like, yeah, we did a video, so we uplifted Tulsa Black Wall Street. Yeah, we made some new flashcards, so we uplifted the legacy in a fun way. But these really help us say yes or no. Right. By June 2025, are we at 50 sites? Yes or no? By June 2025, are we selling 3,000 board games a year? Yes or no? Are we doing 25 speaking engagements? Yes or no? And this makes this very, very clear, but still like energetic for me. So core purpose, right? And this is, what is your business going to be focused on for the next 100 years? right? So when we retire and we pass the mantle to possibly our kids or someone else and they take over Play Black Wall Street, what is going to still be their North Star for the company? So we exist to uplift the legacy of Black Wall Streets and increase the number of financially free, community-focused entrepreneurs. That is our core focus, right? The games that we create, the programs that we have, our speaking engagements, they're all leaning towards uplifting the legacy of Black Wall Streets from Tulsa to Seneca Villas to Rosewood, but also teaching that next generation of entrepreneurs. Queen, before we, I know there's one more, but talk to us about how you're feeling about the new core ideology, how that kind of experience was in creating these.
I liked that. I do like that our new mission statement is very goal oriented.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like it keeps what we're trying to do very top of mind. We had gotten to the point where both of us had, we knew our mission statement. We basically memorized it. So, but again, that's not. It doesn't have inherently our goals very clearly stated within the
Right.
mission statement. So, I feel like with the power of our manifestation,
Strong.
which has been really strong in the
strong.
past couple of years, and it's only getting stronger. Excuse me. I feel very excited to know that we are very clearly outlining our goals, because I'm like, oh, we're definitely making these happen.
Right.
Like probably sooner than we think, because that's
Probably.
been the trajectory. But yeah, I think that that part excites me. So it's like, oh yeah, these are about to happen, because not only have we outlined the goal, but we're putting the steps behind it to get there. And yeah, I think we're putting in the work and needed to make these things happen. So I'm excited to be able to look back in 3 years, 2 years, 5 years, who knows?
Just two, because we said June 2025.
2 years
Yeah.
to look back and be like, dang, we really did that. And then come up with the next set of goals.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
Keep it going. All right. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and then we got one more sign that it might be time for you and your business partner to take a business retreat. All right, Queen, you good?
Yes.
All right, we're gonna take this quick commercial break. When we get back, we'll get into one more signs. We'll see you soon. Look, we're gonna get right back into the amazing podcast. But if you didn't know, in 2017, we created Black Wall Street, the board game, because we thought more families needed to know about the history of Tulsa Black Wall Street. More families needed to know about the legacy of Black excellence left behind of Tulsa Black Wall Street, that we can own a Madam C.J. Walker Beauty Salon. We can have a Booker T. Washington High School. We can have an Uncle Steve's Barbecue. We can have a Renaissance man like Simon Berry, who had his own taxi service and bus service that got bought out by the city of Tulsa. We have brilliance in our DNA, and we wanted to make sure that your family can play a game that teaches them about this brilliance. So we have Black Wall Street, the board game, right here. We had the first edition available in 2017. That got sold out. We're on the second edition right now, or you can get the beautiful masterpiece version of the game as well. It's up to you. Head to playblackwallstreet.com and get yourself Black Wall Street, the board game, to empower you, your family, and generations to come. Playblackwallstreet.com. Let's get back to the episode. Right, let's get right back into it. One more sign that it might be time for you and your business to take a business retreat. And I do want to briefly break down what a business retreat could look like after we answer this question. Because, some people think business retreats are all business, so they're not fun and they're just so much energy. But in actuality, they're great. And everybody should take one. But Queen, break down what is the last sign, or the last three that we'll talk about, that folks need to take a retreat.
So I think another sign that you need a business retreat, your business needs a reset, is your employees either not performing or the employee performance just slipping.
Yeah.
I think that's a sign that there's likely a disconnect between your goals and the performance. Again, that input and kind of output, there's a disconnect there where folks are not feeling the same vigor or the same excitement to get their job done. We need to figure out what's going on there.
Yeah, that's good. And I think we've definitely seen those signs in some of our team members, whether it's showing up late, whether it's not showing up to sessions at all, whether it's we just feel like they're not engaged in meetings. And at the end of the day, I think it's our responsibility, and I'll put it on me. I think it's my responsibility to keep people motivated and keep people engaged in the brand, in the company. So while it's like, yes, it's like what's going on with you on your side, it's also time for us to be like, well, what are we doing to where they feel like it's okay to be late? What are we doing or not doing to where they feel like they don't need to be engaged in the team meetings? And how can we, as leaders in the company, really be intentional about how we're showing up and the structure of our training, our onboarding, and what meetings look like? So during our retreat, we're working with the consultant to figure out what's our onboarding process. The queen is going to be outlining, okay, how do we now take this onboarding process that used to be in just kind of emails and text messages, and how do we put this into an actual system, some videos, some downloadable resources and all that, so it just feels more official, right? And I think the more professional and official that we can feel while still having like the mom and pop feel, or still having that familial attitude in it, but still having the structure of a Fortune 500 business, because that's how we want to operate. So yeah, I'm excited about just how we're kind of just rethinking the onboarding process and definitely taking it to the next level. I'm excited about like the key characteristics that we've created for our core ideology. Our mission, I feel like itself is going to add more energy and direction to our employees, to our team. Our critical actions are very specific. One specifically, what I'm going to talk about?
The
We arrive on time and prepared every time to everything.
I'm still learning it, y'all, and learning to do it.
It's only a couple days old. I understand. Right. It'll take some time. But I think, having these core things, the fact that when you go to Chick-fil-A and you say thank you, every single time, most likely without fail, they say what?
My pleasure.
My pleasure, right? That's a part of their core ideology and critical actions. Every time someone says thank you, they are trained to say my pleasure. And I just want to get to a point where we have things within our business that are automatic, things within our business that are just built on the culture, built on the training, built on the identity of who is a Play Black Wall Street team member. So one of the things is we show up on time and prepared every time to everything. We got two more. We'll tell y'all about those later. But your thoughts on that, Queen? Like the team, whether it's us or other folks not performing and that needing a retreat?
I just think it is typically it's like when we think about, like, if you've heard the term leading indicators and lagging indicators, to me it's a lagging indicator. It is a sign that, like, there's something going on elsewhere in your business that's not in tune, that's not where it's supposed to be, and it is leading now to your employees not performing how they should be. It's not a root problem, it is a result of the root problem. And so, like, even in like so I'm a FDNP, functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner. We talk a lot about how things like the symptoms you experience, right? The fact that you're tired all the time is not a root problem. That's not the problem. That's a result of the problem, which is maybe some gut dysbiosis or something going on.
Yeah. Might be one of those things.
Right. Something going on inside the body that is resulting in this chronic fatigue, right? As an example. So I think, like, employees not performing how they should is a result of something else going on, which is why we're taking the steps of, like, revamping our mission statement, right? Creating a new onboarding process, a new revamped onboarding process, because we are now taking responsibility and saying, okay, the fact that these things are happening with our employees is just a sign that we have not been doing something as resulting to how we're bringing people on, or how we are holding people accountable, or how we are, onboarding folks, or how we're showing up to these meetings. So we're really taking that responsibility on as the leaders of the business, saying, what do we need to do differently now? And I think that that's gonna really change things up.
Oh yeah, I like that analogy, or kind of aligning it to medicine. And I feel like today we're trained to really treat the symptoms.
Right.
We're not trained to treat the root problem. If you look at like your business, as a system, as a body, as a person, right? You're creating this identity and core ideology for a person. Yeah, how the employees are reacting is a symptom of whatever the core problem is. I see you, Queen. You've been dropping some bars today. I'm not gonna front with you.
Thank you.
What's the other one you said earlier? Oh, you had a bar. We were sitting on that side.
Yeah.
We're too tired to remember. We've been
Yep.
going today, but it was a really good one. Y'all gonna see that content later on. But another thing, we're talking a lot about Play Black Wall Street right now, and I know this is the M4 show, Melanated Married Millionaires in the making. But if you've been rocking with us, you know that our primary business is Play Black Wall Street currently, and we do this as
Remember what it is now.
You remember the bar? What's the bar?
Succession plan.
Ooh, yes.
We were
Creating
talking
a
about
succession plan.
we were talking about how, if y'all know, we have the running question of should every family have a business? He thinks yes, I think no. And the reason being that, but I did say the caveat is that every household should be run like a business. And so I was kind of explaining what that means, and the fact that if you think every business should have a succession plan on what happens when the CEO moves to another company, or just leaves, or whatever. How does the next leader get chosen? What happens to all of the things that this person was doing, right? It's a succession plan to how the business is basically passed down. And so they should be the same thing for kind of the household and the habits, the ideals, the beliefs, right? All of these things, and like the wealth, right? How is the wealth of this family being passed on to future generations? So I believe that was the bar.
That was indeed the bar, Sinclair. But I think what we're really focused on Play Black Wall Street currently, because that is our cash flowing entity, that is the money making entity. But a lot of these things, after we've perfected with Play Black Wall Street, we usually then come to the podcast and we do the same thing. So I'm sure down the line there's gonna be another episode where we talk about our retreat with the M4 show. We talk about our new or renewed, rededicated kind of code of excellence within the M4 show. We talk about our new core ideology and take this to the next level as well. So y'all stay tuned for that one. As you can tell, I'm excited about for all the business retreats. But those are three signs that you may need to take a business retreat. Queen, let's go over those signs one more time, right? In case somebody was asleep, you were taking a nap, you were nodding off in the car, whatever you were doing. Hopefully you weren't driving and nodding off. Please stay awake. But 3 tips or 3 signs that your business may need a business retreat. Queen.
First sign is that your business is either growing, maybe growing quickly, or is not growing and is stagnant or declining, right? Growth in either way, or decrease or increase.
Movement in either direction.
Yes.
You're going to want to get a check-in.
Yes.
Number 2, hit them with it.
Low production, or how else did we put this?
Low production, low output for your company. You're putting in a lot of effort.
That was the word I was looking for. You're overworking yourself, and you have low production.
Yep.
And then 3 is your employees are not performing, or their performance is declining.
Yep. And employees includes you.
Yes.
You are included in that. If you feel like your performance, for whatever reason, is going down, maybe you need a business retreat to recharge and refocus. All right. So go ahead and leave your comments below on what you feel is a sign that you need a business retreat, right? Do you vibe with these signs? If you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment. If you're watching or listening to the podcast, definitely make sure y'all head over to the M4 show on YouTube, like and subscribe, and then leave a comment on episode 166. 166, we up in here on signs that you feel you need a business retreat. Queen, let's get into some quick updates.
Real quick.
Yeah.
I wanted to, you mentioned we would talk about kind of what a business retreat could look like.
That's what we're about to go into.
Oh, my bad.
She be excited though. I like when you're excited to go into it though. So we're gonna get into some updates, and the updates are gonna go into what the business retreat looked like. Cause update, we just got back from a business retreat. So Queen, go ahead and dive into it.
The business retreat?
The business retreat, whatever wisdom you were about to drop.
Oh, just that. So our business retreat was basically creating our core ideologies. That was like us taking a step back and thinking about what are our goals, realigning with those. Does our mission statement we created years ago still fit?
Mhm.
And it didn't, right? So we reevaluated that so that not only do we know, but we can, if we know we're going to hire more people, everybody can now have the same understanding about where we're all going.
Right.
We also, again, started looking at, do we need help? Right. So we hired on a consultant to help us with our onboarding process, help get really clear with our vision and make sure that that is passed down to our employees. And then we also did some relaxing stuff.
Oh, we did?
We did.
Talk to him.
We'd had an in-home couples massage. That was lovely.
Come on now.
We also had a nice dinner. Shout out to Chef Q.
Come on, Chef Q came through and threw down.
Had a nice New York steak, some Brussels sprouts, and some truffle garlic mashed potatoes.
Truffle Parmesan mashed potatoes, and we had lobster. What you talking about?
Oh my bad,
Sinclair?
I forgot about the lobster. That lobster was
talk
good.
About
surf and turf.
He made some peach cobbler. What you talking about, Sinclair? So when we talk about like business retreats, yes, it should be a very productive time, right? A very focused time. We did rent to Airbnb. We were out of our house and had that time to really focus. We had an agenda for each day. We had business lunches and business meetings with people in LA as well. So it was a very focused time, a lot of work being done. But just like a normal business retreat, there was fun sprinkled in there too, right? There was time where we can charge up, do some self-care. So if you need some relaxation, right, talk to your tax professional. This is a disclaimer, all that good stuff. But if you need some time to recharge, if you're thinking about, doing some nice fancy dinners, maybe you're thinking about doing a Catalina excursion, you're thinking about doing a couples massage, and you have a legitimate business with your significant other, and you can do legitimate business and work planning during the time, a business retreat is a great way to go for me, myself, personally.
For me too.
Oh, she likes it too? Okay. So next business retreat is when, Queen? We gotta do one for M4 for sure. Ideally sometime this year.
Probably December
business retreat for M4. I'm with it. Okay. So I'm gonna do some strategic planning for M4 before that, but we can have an official retreat at the end of the year for M4. I'm with that for sure. Other updates, as y'all know, we do have the LIT program, Leaders Innovating Tomorrow. This is our 10-week long financial literacy mentorship program. We are currently full for the fall of 2023, but if you are interested in doing spring 2023 or in the future, make sure y'all reach out to info@playblackwallstreet.com. That's info@playblackwallstreet.com to learn more about the program. In this program, students learn how to identify a problem within their community and build a business that solves that problem, right? Our core purpose is to increase the number of community-focused entrepreneurs. So this program is based on building community-focused entrepreneurs. So again, if you're interested, head to playblackwallstreet.com or email info@playblackwallstreet so we can get connected with your scholars. Queen.
Yes.
Feeling good?
Yes.
I'm feeling good. I started this episode with not too much energy because it's been a long day of content. But I'm actually ending this episode with more energy than I started, which is a good sign.
Anytime the mission and vision.
Anytime we start talking about this mission or vision stuff, I get excited. But I do want to give you your flowers, right? Give you your words of affirmations. You did a great job today doing content. I know it was a long day. I know there's a lot of lenses, a lot of lights. You don't like it. But you did a great job today. No, please, no. But yeah, you did a great job pushing through today. We had a great retreat as well. I know you know like always mixing business with pleasure, but again, you were very productive during that time. Did your thing. So I just want to say I appreciate you and I see you as an entrepreneur.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. I also want to give you your flowers for really initiating all of this.
Hey, that's what
per usual.
That's what I do.
You know, you just be going. He created our agenda every single day. So thank you for doing that front work because it made it very easy to just wake up and be like, all right, Hi, boss. What are we doing today?
Oh, she said, boss. Let's go ahead and end this episode
I'm done.
now.
I'm done.
Well, we appreciate y'all for tapping into the M4 show, Melanated Married Millionaires in the making. Again, make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us grow. And of course, share this episode with somebody that you feel like needs to take a business retreat. I'm your host, Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game.
And I'm Sinclair, aka
The
the health nerd.
Make sure y'all secure the marriage. Make sure y'all secure the love. And of course, make sure y'all secure the bag. Peace. Thank you for supporting the M4 show and our mission to increase the wealth of Black families.
If you received any value from this episode, any value at all, any, do us a favor and give us a like and subscribe on YouTube and Apple, Spotify, anything, all of them, all of them, wherever you're listening. Go ahead and like and subscribe.
And after you like and subscribe, make sure you send this episode to at least one family that you really want to see win.